Alrighty then, welcome back. Gonna bring up a table of the new features so you can see them at a glance. And let's launch NinjaTrader here while we go through those. And there is a new update just posted a few moments ago that will correct one of the audio issues that we were talking about earlier this morning. If you missed this morning's live stream, no worries. We're going to do a quick review right here. So first one on the list there, local audio box. A couple ways to get to that. Workspaces, hit the drop down, and there is the official AlgoBox audio box workspace. It is a single chart. Again, you can apply any instrument you wish onto this chart or duplicate it, right click, duplicate, and put it onto another. The button for it is right up here, top left, audio box on or off. If you've got the most recent version there by default, again, you can create your own sounds if you wish. Just make sure that they are the exact same length as these sounds here. Use your favorite audio editing tool. Audacity is a really handy one if you don't have one and you want to make your own. But those are the original OGs and they are now in the proper locations. So I'll demonstrate here real quick. If I wanted to do one of these for the ES, for instance, instead of the Nasdaq, I'm going to right click, duplicate window up here, and I'm right clicking where it says chart in red. Right there, and you get the duplicate window. Right click, duplicate. Okay, now I can type in ES. Kind of one of my favorite ways to do that. Whoops. Forgot, I don't have that already pre-programmed. So ES 1227 contract with the drop down. And that should update here. Press F5. Oh, am I connected? And I'm also checking on the microphone. The microphone was having issues this morning, made a bunch of changes there to hopefully fix that and be ready for some live streams starting tomorrow. There we go. So we can run it on ES, crude oil, gold, anything you like there on the audio box. You do have to make it large enough so that you can see the button up here. So there it is. So it's off if I were to select on. Simple as that. And it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to warm up. It has to do with how we pull in the time and sales data that is floating through if you are familiar with the tape. Okay, now you can also put these, they do not have to be on this separate workspace. I just tend to do it because I like to have that workspace back behind there so that I can be working in my other location and not have it in my space. But if you have, for it, back to the eBot workspace. So the other workspace is active behind it. That is another one of the things that is in this release. If you have multiple tabs or if you have another workspace, the calculations are going to be firing off regardless of whether they are in the active field or not. So what does that mean? It means you can combine the charts into a single chart and use the tab feature down here, and you'll still hear all of the audio cues from any of the charts from behind, or if you want to flip over to them, they'll continue to calculate behind the scenes, whether it was Enigma or any of the others. They will be back there and they are now going to be calculating regardless of whether they are active or not. So you can reduce your workspace if you wish. If I wanted to add one on this workspace, so I've got space here. So if I want to go new chart, in the templates on the right, I will select audio box local. Okay, that's it. That already has the template already pre-loaded for you. So if I wanted to do the ES chart, I'm going to select ES and audio box local, and then I just hit OK. There, and that template, if you're wondering, well, where are the bars at on this? If you right click and go to data series, you will note that the bars on this chart are all set to transparent. If you want to see them, you can change those to whatever colors you want. If you wanted to see those for whatever reason, you can put this on any time frame. As long as one of the keys, if you're going to add this indicator to a chart on your own, please be very careful and attentive to making sure that the calculation method is set to on price change. Again, you don't have to worry about these if you're just using our templates. That's why I always tell you guys, use our templates, please. It will save you a lot of headache. So there you go. On price change. Laboratory said, guys, please, anyone know the name of the winner of the 43-inch TV on, or the link to the tweet? I didn't find it in Vinny's account on Twitter. Let's pull it up. Cole Hughes at Cole_PyPy24 was the winner. How could you miss that? You missed that tweet? Come on, bro. You're trying to make an accusation. It's okay, bro. It's cute. You notice he's not answering anymore? Guys, really, please, I need to know. Yeah, sure, bro. Okay.
Harmonic NQ on the 2.
There we go. Okay, so you can have this here. I'll go and click AudioBox on, and there we go. Again, we're after hours right now, so we're probably not going to hear anything. It's 7:05 Eastern Standard Time, so not a lot going on. Okay, main feature, AudioBox. Check. Calls of sounds, no audio cues, no problem. Doesn't wait. Yes, we're good there. Okay, AlgoBox charts. Talk about the new chart buttons. So bottom left, these are super handy. So my sim here, yep, okay. So if I enter in on the sim account, stops right there. But if I want to, how many times have you been farting around with a whole bunch of stops and targets and you're like, man, I wish I could just group these stops real quick? No problem. I've got stacking buttons right here. So on the right hand side, I've got stops. So, you know, if you want to stack your stops and put them behind a cross, put them behind a dot, no problem. Stack 10 is going to be 10 ticks from the current price. Stack 30 ticks from the current price. 20, you get the picture, right? So I can press any one of these. I like to start with the deepest one, stack 30, and then I like to move it where I want it to go. Boom, I put it right up underneath there, underneath the two white crosses on a DCDM scenario here, or the moonshot trade right here. Make sense? So that's how I group my stops. I can press this multiple times. There's stack 20, stack 30. I can also press spread. If I need to grab them for whatever reason, I can have them spread out. Or if you want to go, I want one to go right here, and then I want to spread them behind it. Cool, no problem. Press spread. Now this can go stop, 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 stop. If you had a reason that you wanted to do that, no problem. If you don't think it's going to take all your stops out, then there you go. But you start reducing your risk, sure. But anyhow, most of the time you're going to be using stack 30, put it back, drop it where you want it, boom, done. Or if the trade is moving in your direction, it's moving up and up and up and up, and you want to kind of use it as a trailing stop, you can go boom, stack 10. Okay, so now the stop will be right back up. You're only going to really risk 10 ticks here to see if you continue on a run. Again, I don't really recommend doing that. Oftentimes you'll end up on the wrong side of something. I tell you to exit on a bar where it's moved in your direction, and then one bar back, and then close the position, as you guys kind of know how I like to do things. Okay, so there's your stop side. Now let's talk about the targeting side of the house, which is oftentimes much more fun. So we've got each tick near. So this will take the nearest target. So if you're on a small, so the nearest target on a small ATM would be 10 ticks. So if you were to press the each tick near, then boom, all of your targets will line up right behind the 10 ticks. So you will have a target at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ticks back behind that. So how often have you seen a trade go up and it goes to 12 ticks, right? So you can get some extra ticks out of those. And of course you can press the close button at any time while they are entering into your your target grid, if you will. I'll be referring to these as kind of target grids. And as you might imagine, if I do the each tick far, then it will be the farthest of the current targets. Now, if you're using a small, that would be 15 ticks. If you're using bigger, that would be 30 ticks. Let's do some examples with that. Now, The difference between the top one here, each tick near, each tick far, versus each other tick near, each other tick far, is every other tick. These will be on every other tick. So instead of at 10, 11, 12, it'll be at 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You get the whole drift there, right? Okay, so let's give some examples. So this one's going right here. So let's go ahead and adjust our stops here. Let's say that I want, or my target. So let's say that I see the open line right there. I want to put my targets right there at the open line. Now I want to stack all of these behind it. Boom, one button press, perfect alignment grid right back behind there. Nice and easy. Now let's say that I want to spread them out. So I'm going to do each tick, each other tick. There we go. Nice little spread there. And let's say I want to hit, now what happens if I hit far? So obviously the very farthest one is now going to be way back here at 15,220.25. And now I'm going to hit each other far, and there they go. See? So now the farthest one has now become the nearest. So now if I wanted to stack them up right there, then what do I want to do? I want to press each tick near. Boom. Now they're all kind of nice little grid right there. I can press buy again. And now I like, you know what? I like that near right there. So I'm going to press each tick near. Boom. Line them all up again. Real easy. Hey, now I've got some extra stops down here. I need to stack those together. Stack 30. Boom. No problem. Boom. Drop them where I need to be. Underneath that cipher. Pow. Done. So this is what we're referring to as the position manager buttons. So if you are going to add this to a chart, position manager buttons. Sometimes you'll hear us refer to them as AlgoBox chart buttons, but then that becomes confusing because we also have these chart buttons right here for half, double, and flatten. Right? Okay, so those were the major feature releases in this release. Bug fixes and enhancements. So the Enigma bot panel here, let's talk about that. So up here at the left, if I'm going to arm long and arm short, that means I want to go long or short on the next trade. But unless I select next or continuous, this is what actually activates the long or the short side of these, right? So if I came in here and I pressed next, in the past, you used to have to come back and arm long and arm short. You no longer have to do that. It probably will make a lot more sense if you see this, if I were to run this in market replay. I did this earlier. If you want to see a longer version of that. Oops, I should have already had next right there. That one would have taken the trade right there. And let's go and stack our stops. Stack 30. Boom. Lots and lots there. And I can still easily manage all of my targets. So simple. And then I want to press the each tick near. Boom, right there. Very, very cool stuff. Right. Very cool. Now, this is AudioBox local. It does work on market replay. So to answer your questions, yes, it works on market replay. Let's see, other enhancements, change full master cause horizontal lines to raise. Okay, so inside, I think I'm going to rename these. I apologize for the confusion, but I wanted them to functionally go in here and be raised. So now if you go to the Flowmaster crosses, if you want to auto enable, oftentimes I have drawn these by hand, but now that I've got these set to raise, you guys are going to see me in my live streams using this automatic drawing feature for me right here. Now it's called draw raise. Ignore this video because by the time you see the next one, I will have renamed this back to draw horizontals like all of the other ones do. Horizontal by definition actually goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right, covers the entire screen. That is a horizontal line, but a ray starts at a location and moves in one direction. That's why it's called array. Okay, so we're going to go at the cross at the beginning. That's going to beginning and it's going to move to the right. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to enable the drawing raise here. And of course, pay attention to the number of raise feature right here. I usually have this set to 5. If you want to do back testing, you need to change this number to, set it to 1,000 or 10,000 back so that it shows all of them. But right now we only want to show the most recent raise. I like to see the most recent ones. So I'm looking for those for things where I know retail may have gotten offsides. Don't want to press OK on that because that will jack that up. Right now, I think I've already got them set. How can I do this? I'd like to see that play out, but the crosses would be handy if you could see them. Okay, let's zoom in here. So you see the white crosses right here. They've got a little tiny white line there, and you can adjust that. You can make that thicker. You can make it, you can change its colors, but right now I've got it set to a very thin white line. This is, again, you'll hear me in my live streams talking about retail getting offsides on these. We're, well, not necessarily offsides every single time, but we want to look for activity that looks like, according to order flow, looks like retail mashing the button. Then we look to the left, we see what do you think that they were deciding on at that location, and we want to trade against those positions. And oftentimes, since we know that they've entered there, we're like, you know what, how many times does the price not get back there, not allow them out of their positions, and so we catch them offsides. The raise will automatically draw those for you, and because we have the horizontal labeler, it will also tell you the price. So these are also previous white crosses that just showed up within the last 5 of these, so I know these were recent as well. Okay, so I can look up and down the right side of my chart, look at the white dash lines, and I know those are locations where retail took positions. Does that make sense? At least that is our best guess. Again, there's no guarantees on any of this stuff, but best guess. Make sense? Yes, Mark, we got it. AudioBox on market replay, totally OP. You got it. Mark said, I don't understand how AlgoBox can get any better. Sheesh. For the win. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Sir, can we enable voice for Delta flagging? There is. Actually, there is voice for Delta flagging. That's already in there. Yes, so if you go into Delta flagging, this gets a little confusing. I'm actually glad you kind of brought this up. All right. Tried to label this better for you. These are the settings inside of Delta flagging. Okay, so at the top, if you want to turn that on for Delta by building or Delta down building, meaning significant. If you want to significant, that is, that's this section right here. And you would need to select your sound for that. And that is in the file folder there, or you can select your own or create your own. But yes, you can absolutely do that. Okay. Next section. So double delta. You can select your double delta sound as well. Double delta sound on. You can select your settings right here. Actually, I would want to change this one. Glad you actually brought that up. So I want this. I like to use the Algo Voice double and the Algo Voice standard for me. Actually, I want to take that off. I want to change that right there. So these are the settings that I like to have right here if I'm going to be using the standard. But I oftentimes kind of take this one off. But I like to have these on the higher time frame. So I will enable this on a higher time frame because I do want to see that on a higher time frame, but I don't necessarily want it on a lower. But we could talk more about that in the live stream. Yes, Michael, what can we do for you, sir? Hurry up, we're on a live stream. What do you want to tell everybody?
What do you like? What drink would you like for dinner? We're having mashed potato.
Ooh, can I have a milk, please, sir?
Okay.
All right, appreciate you, sir. I'll be there momentarily. All right, we got dinner on the way. Let's see. Trade next, you got that one. Full master cross horizontal lines, flagging, secondary, subchart, and not primary. Yes. Oh, global drawings. Okay, so there were some problems with global drawings, the unique identifiers on those going across multiple charts. So just know this is a bug fix. If you wanted to enable globals, so draw global horizontals right here. So on a higher time frame, this is where I would probably use this, the global horizontal. If you were to check that right there, then the white cross with the horizontal line that it is just drawn will draw it across all charts. So if you saw a horizontal that came in on, say, the wave chart, I might want to see that on my lower time frame. Don't you think that would be kind of smart? So we had that feature for a while, and then every once in a while the names would cross over each other and NinjaTrader would get angry with it. So anyhow, using some GUID values now internally. So now those are completely globally unique. across all charts. So that is now fixed. So global horizontals also works. We'll do some examples of that later this week as well. I would normally do this on a Mentorship Monday here today, but due to the release and things and being a little bit behind, wanted to get this out earlier in the weekend, but just, you know, a few more bugs here and there to get fixed and all that kind of good stuff. There's death by 1,000 cuts when you're trying to get code out the door. All right, but let's see. Let's open up for questions here. That is our list. I'll post this list in the room if anybody has any questions around any of these. We'll try to get them answered there in the chat as well. I wanted to try to make a quicker video on the release items. Lane said, why would I have those rays for crosses showing up and drawing as horizontals? I've got the latest version, not the one with the sound fixes, and got all the new features showing properly. So you're saying that yours is drawing horizontals still instead of the rays? Okay, so you might, here's what you'll check. Don't you love that? Don't you love that?
Target filled.
You love how it's just going through there. Targets filled. Targets filled. Targets filled. Right there through a nice moonshot. There we go. Just stacking them up. Stacking it. Beautiful. Here's what you need to check. So go into Tools, remove Ninja Script Assembly, because what it sounds like to me is that you did not uninstall properly, possibly. So the way we want to check that is let's just go in here and manually remove any old ones. If you have any problems like that, go ahead and reach out to our tech support. If you're still, you know, if you're not uncomfortable doing this, go and open up a ticket with us on the left-hand side. We usually respond within a few hours. Again, max 1 business day, we'll have a response to you, but typically same day, as long as it's kind of, you know, normal business hours. You know what I'm saying? We've got a great tech support team there that will get you all fixed up. But let's go ahead, and if you want to do this by yourself, click on Tools, remove Ninja Script Assembly. And these are the only 2 things from us that you should see right now. Okay. Now, if you don't have the Autobot pack, that's okay. Yours might say AlgoBox Pro NT8. That's the standard Pro. If you have Enigma, then it might say AlgoBox Pro NT8 Enigma pack right here. This one is the Enigma plus the Autobot pack that I've got currently installed, but you should only see 1 row of AlgoBox something. If you see multiples in there, probably remove them all. If you're not sure which one to remove them all. Just do the reinstall. Make sense? Remove them all, reinstall, good to go. Okay. And yeah, you could manually remove these. I could like click this right here and select remove. If you wanted to do that. Make sense? All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Checkbox says horizontals, not rays. Yeah, that's an old version. So you've got multiples installed there and one's just fighting with it. 30 for watching, 16 like. Yeah, smash that like button for me real quick. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. That's it. Going once, going twice. Any other questions? Hey, we made that one a quick one. 25 minutes. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go get some grub. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning for some live streaming. What do you say? All right. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang, I am sitting out that big H-Town. See ya.